Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 11.2.7 goes live on December 2nd and it introduces a whole bunch of new content like early access to the housing system, the Midnight Prologue story quests, Pandera and Heritage armor sets, and we'll see a bunch of events return like the Turbulent Timeways, the Winds of Mysterious Fortune, and even the Brawlers Guild, so there's a lot to look forward to. But there are quite a few ways in which you can best prepare your characters for the new patch, so let's go over the most important things to do before patch 11.2.7 and some things that might not be worth your time. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit on that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. One of the largest updates coming in the new patch is early access to the housing feature, and there are quite a few ways that you can best prepare yourself for housing, even if you don't necessarily care too much for it as a content option. For example, professions are linked to the housing system quite closely. For starters, almost every profession will have new housing decor recipes and crafts scattered through every expansion's recipe window, so those older versions of leatherworking or blacksmithing or tailoring will actually be useful again, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to go through your professions, learn every expansion's version of your profession, and start leveling them up so you're ready to unlock the new recipes right away. Not only will you be able to make your own decor items, which will be very beneficial if they end up being quite popular or expensive, but you can also craft these items to sell on to other players. So even if you don't want to make a shiny house for yourself, you might be able to make some good gold from these new recipes and crafts by selling them on the auction house. Almost every piece of decor will also give you some housing experience when you first collect it, and while it is a relatively small amount, it's definitely going to add up if you're able to obtain every profession's decor items, so anyone really interested in housing is going to want to pick up all of these ASAP. It's not just for decor though, there are two professions that might be even more important for the housing system. Some items can be dyed after you place them down, things like couches or cushions or rags and mats and carpets. Chances are if you think it should be dyeable, you can dye it, and there are various parts of items that you can dye different colours. I've actually been pleasantly surprised with how much customization is being offered right from the get-go, but there is a catch. You're going to have to collect these dyes before you can use them. One of the main ways that dyes are created is at the dye station in the housing neighborhood, but you need to have alchemy or inscription learned to actually use it. This means if you want to customize your housing decor with dyes, you will either want to set up alchemy or inscription on one of your characters, or you're going to be at the mercy of whatever gold prices these end up at on the auction house. So alchemists and scribes will have another way to make some extra gold when this patch goes live, because you can make and sell these dyes to other players, so keep that in mind if you want to make some extra gold. Now if you're looking for something to do outside of WoW, you should check out the sponsor of today's video, Heroes of History. Heroes of History takes you on a time travel storyline led by icons of the past like Einstein and Tesla. You get to establish and grow your own civilization, recruit and upgrade various heroes from history and mythology, and create powerful parties to battle through an extensive campaign. It's a really unique blend of gameplay options, and I've had a lot of fun with the history side of things especially, summoning key figures from the past as heroes, wondering which iconic character will be next and what abilities they've been imagined with. And of course figuring out how to squeeze the coolest heroes into my main lineup. It's not just the heroes though, you'll be taking your civilization through the ages, starting in the Stone Age, progressing through to the Bronze Age and beyond. I've always loved this kind of progression, and unlocking those big tech upgrades and seeing their effects on the battlefield or on your empire's economy is always super satisfying. As a special bonus, if you use the promo code STARTNOW, you'll get a boost to unlock your first legendary hero, which will give you a huge head start. Do you think you've got what it takes to create a civilization to rival Rome? Use the link in the description or scan the QR code to download Heroes of History today to find out. Now getting back to the video, there are some other ways to stockpile decor items before the patch goes live. There are a whole bunch of achievements that will reward decor items retroactively when the patch releases, so you can earn the achievements now and you'll start off with a whole mountain of items to tinker about with when you buy your house in 11.2.7. There are a few ways to see which achievements will reward decor. You can check the achievement window on the 11.2.7 PTR or on the Midnight Beta if you have access to that, and just search for decor reward in the search search bar. This will show you almost every achievement that rewards a piece of decor, so you can just go down the list and tick things off one by one, or you can find achievements that reward decor that you're most interested in. Wowhead also has a page that details a lot of achievements that reward decor that you can complete right now, so I'll give you a link to that in the description as well. The vast majority of reputations from the last few expansions will also sell decor rewards after the patch goes live. This includes factions from the War Within, Dragonflight, Shadowlands, Legion, Warlords of Draenor, Mists of Pandaria, some vanilla major factions, and a couple of others. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if almost every faction offered up a couple of decor pieces when all is said and done, so if you have some free time, it might be worth grinding out some extra reputation or renown levels for the last couple of expansions factions at the very least. And then the last major method of acquiring decor is going to be the good old process of throwing a bunch of gold at your local decor vendors. We're going to have a lot of decor vendors scattered across the world, and they will be more than happy to relieve you of your hard-earned gold. Thankfully, most items are quite cheap. It's very common to see items for less than 150 gold, and you actually get a confirmation window for anything above that amount, which you might get a bit frustrated with eventually, but with how many vendors there are and how many decor pieces you can buy, you can spend a lot of gold very quickly. It's also worth noting that when you buy a piece of decor, you're only buying one instance or copy of that item to place in your house. So if you buy one chair, you can only place that chair once. If you want to place 6 chairs around a table, you'll actually have to buy 6 of that exact same decor piece from the vendor. So when you're looking at these prices, it's per item you want to place, which can make some of this stuff very expensive very quickly depending on how you want to set up your house. That also means you'll need to venture back to that vendor if you want to buy some extra copies later on, which is something I hope the dev team changes somehow, like providing a vendor in the housing area who sells copies of every item that you've already purchased at least once, or make it so you can buy extra copies for the same gold amount in the housing menu, or, you know, make it so that when you buy an item, you can place it as many times as you want. Wouldn't that be neat? But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, sadly. My main point here though is that if you're wanting to pick up all of these vendor decor items and maybe purchase some of the profession crafted items from other players and throw in a couple dies for good measure, now is a great time to farm some gold before the patch goes live. The more gold you have, the more decor you'll be able to buy and the fancier your houses can be. It's also worth pointing out that even if you haven't pre-ordered Midnight yet, you can still collect decor and take part in various parts of the housing system. You just won't be able to actually buy a plot or start decorating just yet, but you can still start working on your decor collection, so keep that in mind. Now, if you have access to the Midnight Beta, you can go one step further and start shopping around the housing districts to see which plots you might be interested in. Thanks to the way that public neighborhoods work, you should be able to pick your desired plot almost no matter what. The House Finder lets you scope out different public neighborhoods, and you can refresh your options on the left-hand side, so hopefully if you refresh enough, you'll find a neighborhood with your desired plot available. If you can't shop around the neighborhoods early to find a plot that suits you, it might take you a bit longer to set things up when the patch goes live. Now, there are a couple of things that I wouldn't focus on too much right now, the first being gearing up. I do think there's an argument to make for gearing up before the Midnight expansion releases, because gear can help you work through quests and level a bit faster, and from what we've seen on the alpha and beta, you might actually struggle through some of the earlier areas if your gear is super low, but patch 11.2.7 introduces the Turbulent Timeways event, and it's going to stick around for quite a bit longer this time. During the event we'll have back-to-back time walking, and if the calendar on the beta is to be believed, the event will run from December 2nd all the way to February 10th. That gives us 10 weeks of time walking, which means 10 weekly quests to complete, and the box of gear reward will be upgraded to heroic raid item levels. That means you can get up to item level 710 from each box, which is once per week per character. The time walking raids are also a very easy source of champion and hero gear when they're available, so this event provides some of the easiest gearing up opportunities we'll have, especially for all of your alts. You'll also be able to take advantage of the Turbo Boost event, including the tokens in Gear Vendor, the uncapped crests, the higher item level hero and myth track gear, as well as the upgraded crafted gear. None of that is going away in patch 11.2.7, so that's going to make gearing up in the new patch that much easier. With the new patch being introduced, we should also see a lot more activity in most areas of the game. So if you've been struggling to put together Mythic Plus dungeon runs, or your queues have just been crazy long, hopefully we'll see some more folks pop back to retail after the patch goes live, which should make gearing up through every other avenue quite a bit faster as well. So personally, I would wait to gear up any of your characters until after 11.2.7 goes live. Something else that might not be worth your time right now is leveling up any alts that you still haven't gotten around to yet. The Turbulent Timeways event has always been a great time to level up alts thanks to the stacking bonus experience buffs we get during the event, and we should also see the return of the Winds of Mysterious Fortune event, which provides even more bonus experience and some other buffs to make leveling easy and faster. So leveling up your alts will be much faster in the new patch when compared to right now, assuming you're doing it the good old-fashioned way. It's worth noting that if you've done a lot of content in Legion Remix and you've stacked up your bonus experience gains already, leveling your alts in that game mode should be significantly faster, so it kind of just depends on what content you want to do while leveling up those last few straggling alts and how much time you've already put into Legion Remix. Speaking of Legion Remix, is there anything that you should focus on there to get done before 11.2.7 goes live? Well, that's going to depend on you. You can grind your bronze or infinite power or spam your alts up to 80 super fast or whatever you want to do really. These events usually only run for the current patch where they're introduced, but Legion Remix will run all the way up until just before the midnight pre-patch by the looks of things. So you'll have until January 19th to get your Legion Remix goals completed, which includes stocking up bronze to buy all those shiny rewards, and of course getting the special achievements all squared away. With that being said, you are probably going to want to do quite a few other things before midnight releases, so getting some Legion Remix goals completed now might ease up your end of expansion checklist quite a bit. So it really just depends on where your priorities lie and how busy you're going to be in patch 11.2.7 and beyond. I'll be checking off at least a few things in Legion Remix before this patch goes live, just to make sure I leave myself some breathing room during the end of expansion rush, but honestly, if you want to wait, that's perfectly fine too. We do have a lot longer on the Legion Remix event, so there's no rush really. But that's everything we would recommend you get done before patch 11.2.7 goes live, and some things which might not be worth your time. So that's it for this video. What are you going to be working on before the next patch? Farming those decor achievements to deck out your house right away, or are you spending all of your time in Legion Remix? Leave all your thoughts in the comments section below. A big thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and to all of our members here on YouTube. You can see the names floating by on screen. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can find the links in the description or click the join button just below the video. If you enjoyed the video or found it useful in any way, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you're always kept up to date. Thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.